everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here again, and of course I hope you have an amazing day already so far. For everyone who is here new, of course, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see. We are going to use for this DIY the smallest tumbling towel blocks. Of course, what will we do without them? Of course, I always say you have to at least make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages of tumbling towel blocks laying around in your stash. You always have enough. So I have my container with all the things I need for this DIY, but most important, like I tell you always, is the wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but be careful that it doesn't break. I have here some paint, but use some paint at your choice. And I have here my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. What we're going to make for today, we are going to make kind of a wood slices, and we are going to make kind of a face planter. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see here the round I'm going to use, a bigger one and a smaller one. This one of course is for my kitchen paper towel. And this one is in centimeters. He is 14 centimeters. So 14 centimeters. If you're making this from cardboard, you just have to make a round from cardboard, a thicker cardboard from 14 centimeters, or in inches is 5.5 inches. So then you have the bigger one. So, and now for the smaller one, I'm going to use in inches. He will be 4.2 in inches, and in centimeters he will be 11 centimeters. So in a moment I give you the numbers of blocks you need where you rounds are falling in. But if you are going to make it from cardboard, then you are really fit to go. Then you can use this measurements. So now we're going to do the first step. So for our first step, first we're going to make the rounds because they need to dry before we're going to can saw them out. And of course I always use as less blocks as we can, and that means also that we don't have to saw a lot of pieces. So you can easily do it also with a jigsaw. So I'm going with a jigsaw, and of course with a hand saw. We are going to use 6 rows of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. So you need 9 blocks. And that's 6 times. So I hope I explained it right, and it isn't even Monday. So that doesn't predict a lot of good for the DIY. So I'm going to row them very easy together on the smallest line of the block, and you only have to glue, of course, 8, because number 9 is always the closure up. The last block is the closure up. You don't have to glue that one, or else it will be one big glue mess, and with me it is always a big glue mess. So again, the number 9 over here, and at least I am hoping that I can let it look like wooden slices which you cut from a tree. So this is a little bit of a tricky thing because the blocks are totally not looking like the pieces of a tree. So this will be maybe with painting, or we will see how this will work, but I hope I can let it look like wooden slices. Of course, you can also use some wooden slices if you don't want to have this glued together, or maybe you don't have the time for it. Just take 2 wooden slices, and you can also go further in the video where we're going to make the face / planters. So again, the last blocks, and then we're going to press them together. So we're going to work from the inside to the outside, and always at the ending before you stop, you're going to give it some pressure to the end. And again, over here, press all of them together until one piece and press it over. We're going to do here the same. And again, this way. And I do only this step so far with you because later I do it a little faster. Don't worry. But of course, always at the start, I'm going to show you how I'm going to press it, make it clean, and do the back side. So again, over here, and press it together. We're going to get our wet towel. We're going to wipe away the glue. And if you want to do the back side, just move it fast this way and place it straight up. Do the back side, clean up your mat, place it down on the back side, and do this side also. And again, go back and make sure that you have a nice straight line on your blocks, but you can also use a carpenter square, so you don't have to do it the way that I do. Clean it up, place it to the side very quick, and then turn it over and do the other side. Clean up, and then again you just go back and you make sure that you have a nice straight line. I will do the rest and you see now the next step. So we gave it a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, we're going to turn them this way, and we're going to turn this one also this way. So we make one long piece that looks this way. We're going to place two of them on the side. We're going to do some glue on the top side. Of course, make sure that every block has a little bit of glue. You do it over here, and again you place this one down against here, and you place this one down against here, and then you go very gently, you fill in the open gaps. Just give it some pressure from the sides, always from the sides, and then you're going to fill in easy the open gaps. Also make sure that the sides are as straight as can be. If you have a block in between which is not a great size, it doesn't matter, because you fill in you place your round on top of here, and always the little pieces at the end are falling off. So don't worry, here you can easily use blocks which are not having the size you like. So again, this is one, and we do number two. Also again, you do some glue on the ending of the block, and also over here, of at least the top of the block, and we go it over here. And I turn this one over so the glue is running down this way, over here, and this one over here. And with this one also fill in gently the open gaps. So very gently give it some pressure so everything fits nicely together, and so you don't have open pieces. Feel also with your fingers, maybe you need to move it a little, and then wipe away the glue. And we're going to let this dry in for at least 1.5 hours. So now we're going to make, of course, the plank for our smaller size of our round. And I'm going to do this a little bit different, because I make one piece. With the bigger one, we made two separate squares. With this one, we do one, because measurement, it works better. Or else you are throwing away so many wood, and that's not what we want. So I show you in a moment exactly what I mean. So we have 5 rows of 7. So 5 rows of 7. Then your piece is on top of here. If you use the measurement of the round that I use, then you are fit to go. So again, 5 rows of 7. We're going to glue all, so this 5 rows together on the smallest line over here, and this one. And sometimes you make separate pieces, and sometimes it works better when you make one piece and then you can double it up next to each other. It is cheaper for your wood, because you don't want to spill so many wood, because that's will happen if I do it 3 times of 6 times 7. That's not what we want. So the last already, and number 4, 5 and 6, and we're going to squeeze them also the same like we did with the other one. Squeeze them together, and this way, press it down and over here. And if it pops out, don't worry, just glue it together again. I had it already so many times that I'm doing it a little too fast, and I press and everything is popping out. So if it happened, doesn't matter, you are in company with me, because I always have the same problem. So I'm going to wipe away the glue and turn it over, but you already know how to do it. So I see you in a moment. So now we're going to turn them this way, the same like we did with the other one. And we're going to place now 4 straight up and this way, because we're going to make one piece. And we do some glue on top of here. We do over here and over here. And number 4, we're going to easy place it down, place it over here, and this one, and the last one. And of course also make sure that they are in a straight line on the sides. And now we're going to go gently. Every time we're going to give some pressure, and so you see, very easy. Slowly your pieces in between are filling up, and so you get a nice piece without openings. And again, fill in your open gaps and also press the sides sometimes. And again, we're going to wipe away the glue so you can see it a little better if you need to press somewhere extra over here. And we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to let this dry in also for 1.5 hours. So now I'm going to make the box, which will be in between the slices. So we have now 3 rows of 4, and this is of course just a try. I really don't know how this will work out. I hope that I measured it out right. Maybe we need to make the slice a little bigger, but I have to see. But the box has to be this size, or else you don't have any space for decorating, or do some planters, do some little other figurines inside. You call it knickknacks, if I'm correctly. I don't know how you call it. Critters? I really have no idea. Really, at least that's what I hear in videos, but I don't know if this is correct or not. But you will place it down in the comments. So again, I'm going to place them straight up, clean up, to the back side, and also with this one, straight up, place it down, clean up, and do here the same. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So now we take 2 rows of 3. So we do also again on the smallest line, and we roll this one, and over here, and over here, and we're going to squeeze them together, and this way. And we're going to clean this one up and let it dry also. So I was looking and looking. I don't need 3 of 4, I need 3 of 5. So I'm going to do 1 extra on this one, 1 extra on this one, and the last 1 extra on this one. So we need 3 of 5 and we need 2 of 3. So we're going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we're going to make our box. So, and you see already I now have 3 pieces of 5 and my 2 of 3, but I want to glue my piece together, and I see already that this doesn't work, because if you do it this way and this way, it doesn't fit. You see, what I need to do is, of course, I need 2 of 5, 1 of 4 and 2 of 3. So this is each a little bit better. So I'm going to do some glue around the part of 4, a block of 4. We do some glue around and on this side, and we're going to place it down. We place this one over here and this one over here, and this way going to squeeze it, and this, make sure that you have a straight line. With this one we do some glue on this side and on this side, and we're going to fill it in with this one, and we do here some glue on this side and on this side, and if everything is correctly, then it fits nicely. So again, going to squeeze it, and we have our little box. So it took a little bit moment of your time, but at least we have them. Like I told you earlier, it isn't even Monday. So I'm going to have this one glued, and I'm going to make another one, but a bigger one. So for the bigger one we need 2 rows of 7, 2 rows of 7, 1 of 6 and 2 of 3 again, because I don't want to have mine wider than that. So 2 rows of 7, 1 of 6 and 2 of 3. So again, we're going to glue the smallest line of the block, and we row them together again this way. And the last of 7, and then you get kind of a nice small little boxes. You can decorate with anything you like. You can do it for any season. So number 6, and that I hope that I counted right, so we will see. And this is number 6, and now the 2 of 3. I hope you don't hear the noise, because our neighbors are building some piece on their house with it, so an extra piece on their house. So I hope you don't hear it. And again, we're going to squeeze it, squeeze it. We do the 1 of 6, give it some pressure, and the 2 of 7. And we're going to let them dry in, if we clean them up, for at least, I think, do 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get my 2 pieces of 3, place them straight up, and of course I'm going to do on the piece of 6, I'm going to do glue totally around on this side, and on this side. Oop, you see already he has to turn over here, and I'm going to place it down. Place this 2 of the 2 of 3 we're going to place over here and give it a little bit of pressure. And now we're going to give some glue on this side, a little, and a little over here, and on this one, and on this one. We're going to place this one over here, place it straight up, and we do here the same. And we're going to give it a little bit of pressure on the underside. And if you have it in the shape you want to have it, then let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes before you're going to wipe away the glue, and then let it dry in at least 10 minutes also. So now we're going to make our rounds, and of course this is for the 2 bigger ones and this is for the smaller ones, and I will show it to you. So if you place it on top of here and you do it at the ending as much as you can over here, and you make a nice little round. So I'm going to go around this way and this way. You can see you can easily make another one next to here, and you see you're falling half in the block. If you do one extra, then you would have totally 7 blocks which you just throw away, and that's not what we want, because that's always a waste of your block. So I'm going to go for this way, and I'm going to make the lines a little thicker. So this way, you see already, now we have 2 rounds over here, and now we need the bigger round with our kitchen towel stand. And of course make sure that he is inside of the piece you want to have over here, and you're going to go around, and I do it as thick as I can because I want to see it, and I'm an old lady, and or else I can see it. I need to cut my piece. This is already one, so we do very easy. We do also the number 2, and make sure that he falls inside of your piece. And again we go over here, and we go over here and around. And like I told you, you can also do this with a piece of thicker cardboard. And again, now we have our 2 pieces. I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to cut all 3 of them out. So now I have my 4 wooden slices. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my white paint, and first I'm going to give them a coat of light white, because if you do it real hard, at least with mine, then you get the wood still coming through. And I'm going to look if I like that color, or maybe I have to go a little bit more to the creamy brown color. But first I want to see if how the color is looking when I have it on top of here. So you see already I do it very lightly. I just take the brush and I'm going to go over it and over it again to make it as light as can be. So over here, and just every time I go over it and make sure that most of the paint is disappeared. And again over here, just do a little dab, and I'm just going to go over here. And don't mind if you see a little bit of the line of the pencil, because later you will give it the corners, you will give some distressing to let it look like some tree slice of wood slice. So again, go over it and make sure that as much as your wood is coming through. But of course, if you have a better one, it's also fine too. This you can go as crazy as you like, because I just give you an example, but you can do much better than I do. So Just do whatever you think is right. So now I have my 4 wooden slices, of course, in the white color, at least light white color. And I'm going to do with the boxes the same. Also very light, a little white on top of there, so they are fitting nicely in between. So now I have I use my Mod Podge because I only need the container where it's in, so I can lay my slice on top of here so it can dry on the edges around. So what I'm going to do, I have already my brown over here. I'm going to mix some colors. First I'm going to make my round in the brown color. So I'm going to do this side, and then we're going to distress a little over the line. So but first I'm going to make this round, and then we're going to do the next step. So you see, I did the whole around, and of course it's coming a little over the edges, but that's no problem because it has to be over the ending. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and I'm just going to dab my brush only little pieces on the side. So I go around to make a kind of a border around. So this way, and I'm going to go totally around this my slice. And again, I'm going to do some brown, and I'm going to dab it just around as long as I'm happy how the result is looking. So this way. And for the bigger round you do a little bit wider, for the smaller slice you do a little bit smaller, of course. So I'm going to go around totally now. So you see, I did go totally around the outside, and of course a little piece on the inside on both sides, and then I'm going to let it dry on my container so the edges can dry easy. I'm going to do all the other rounds also the same way. So now I did a little bit of the darker green on top of here, and I'm going to get my slice and I'm going to take my smallest brush, and again I'm just going to dab little pieces around the corner, the same like we did with the brown, but not totally give it too much, then the brown disappears. Of course, little pieces which makes the piece a little bit darker and rustic. So I'm going to go around and I do all the pieces. So I did all the slices in this color, and you see already this is how he's looking like, and I'm really happy how he turned out. Of course, change it up any way you like. I place one on the table. I'm going to get my smallest little box, and of course I didn't do the whole piece on the side because he has to be glued inside of here. So I'm going to get my wood glue and I'm going to glue this on top of here, and then I'm going to place this one on top of here. So very easy. Do some glue over here, and I do it in the middle only. So I'm sure that not a lot of the paint is coming, of the glue is coming out. And again, I'm going to let it suck in a little before I'm going to do the top above. So now I have my second slice, and of course I'm going to do some glue on top of here. I don't know if I'm happy with how it will turn out. We will see. I really have no idea if I like this or not. So we will see. Of course, I'm going to place this one on top of here. And I'm going to let this fall down. And I'm going to make sure that it is in the same side that I have this one. So I'm going to let this suck in a little, and then I'm going to move it around. So you see already I have both of them painted, and I did a little around my slice. So it looks a little bit like a wood slice, but I'm not really sure if I think it's wood slice or not. Maybe you have to color them a little bit more in the brown color. It gives a little bit more like the feeling of wood of a tree. But I like the white better, so, but maybe I will call them little cubbies. I don't know, but we will see. We will see. I'm going to have some pieces of webbing, and this webbing is just from plastic, and a lot of you who are here already for a long time know that this is just from a grill mat where you place on your grill, and you place your meat on top of here, so it gets your grill is staying more clean than normally. So, but I like this kind of webbing because you don't cut yourself if you have the chicken wire. So I always do this one because I'm not really great with knives and colors, so I'm going to do it in the plastic way. So I have here a cutout for the bigger one, this size. And of course, what we're going to do, I just also got out of my stash some 4 half wooden rounds, but you also can use some little pieces of cardboard. Just make some rounds of it, and then you're going to glue them on top of here, because then you glue the webbing and you glue your piece. So I'm going to make sure that I have it in the middle. So I'm going to get my hot glue, and what I'm going to do is just look for that I have it really where I want to have it, because hot glue is a little bit more difficult to remove. So I'm going to do a little bit of hot glue. Oh, now this he's already gone. I show you only one, and then the other one I will get in a moment. Of course, you do some hot glue over here, and you just keep it in place and just place them on the corners over here. What you also can do is do it a little bit more to the inside. Maybe I like that better. Oh, now this is really, they are totally going everywhere. So again, we do some glue, and you can also place them over here. Maybe you like this a little better. Maybe I get mine off, and I'm going to try to get it off at least. Normally when you have your hot glue, it really gets off really easy, but if you want to have it off, it's always a little bit more difficult. So we are going to turn it, because I really want to have it off. So we will see if I succeed or not. Yes, there I am. And I'm going to remove the back side of the glue. And I'm going to do some hot glue on top of here. I melt the first layer, and I'm going to do some new one over here, and I'm going to place it a little over here, and then I'm going to press it down. I'm going to get the other one, and of course I will move this little piece of glue. I'm going to do this one over here and this way. And now we need only to do the last one on this corner. So you see already I found number 4, and I glued this of course also on top of here. So now you can do some letters in between. You can do anything on top, maybe a little wooden figurine, maybe for Easter, you can use it for any season, maybe some bees. So just do whatever you think is right. I'm going to do also now the smaller one. So you see already I have a box, at least a medium box full with letters. This is kind of Scrabble letters. I have the bigger ones, and of course I have the smaller ones. I always collect them already also through the years. So if you find them somewhere cheap, always buy them and just make a box out of it, and you always can use them all year round. So I'm going to look for some numbers, because I want to have on the front, I want to have some numbers on mine, but you can do some letters, you can do anything you like, but I do some numbers. So I have here now 3 of the smaller ones and 3 of the medium ones. What I'm going to do is just get my hot glue, and I make a little small line on the side of the letters, and I'm going to place them together this way, wipe away in between, and then move it immediately. And then you're going to do the second one, and again you place it down, and you also make sure that this one glues nicely also. And I'm going to move it, and now I already have my little numbers connected to each other. I could do here also, of course, with the smallest one. Just do a little line over here, place this one against here, and you can choose any numbers you like over here. And now I'm going to do this one over here, and I'm going to wipe away the glue this way, remove it. And now we already let it dry in for a little moment, and I'm going to get my black. So this time I just use a little bit of the shoe polish, and I just make it a little black over here. And I'm just going to wipe it off on my piece of kitchen paper towel. And then you just go easy around the edges and make it a little bit distressed. Of course, you don't have to do that if you don't like it. It's totally fine too, but it looks a little bit more older if you distress it a little, and that's the look I'm going for. So over here, And the last piece. And of course you can also go with some brown. So you see, I have now the bigger ones. I do some glue on the back side. And I'm going to place it exactly in the middle over here. And now I think mine is finished. And like I told you, you don't have to leave it in the black. You can choose the color you like. I like a little bit of the white color. Maybe I call them little cubbies because I don't know if it is really a wood slice. No, we call them wooden slice cubbies. We just make a word out of it. So I'm going to decorate them and you see in a moment a quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile block slice cubbies. And of course, I don't know, is it really a wood slice? I let you decide. And of course, you can change it up any way you like. Everyone, I hope you enjoy this. And everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy also what you saw. It is sometimes a little bit of a chaos, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day. See you in the next one. Bye.